Good evening. What's huh? Oh, oh this? Oh yeah, it's it's nothing. That's my Fallout Pip-Boy fucking 3000 Mark 5. Yeah, I forgot the name for a second. Yeah, you're damn right that's what it is. Look, where's the camera? That's so fucking cool. I'm astounded. Technology is a beautiful thing. It's comfortable. My entire sleeve can't go into it, otherwise I'll break the clasp on it. It's the best thing I've ever owned, and I wish I had $200 to waste on something like this again, because this is fantastic, and that is how much it costs when I pre-ordered it in April of last year. It's fucking March, you guys. It took 11 months to get this shit to me. That's insane. And yeah, I guess I was just working more then because I do not have that kind of money left over. That's fucking nuts. That's how I chose to save up and spend it on was the Pip-Boy, and I'm very proud of that because it's so much fun. I've kind of been exploring it for a little bit, looking at the different things on it. Look, there's the time. Yeah. Could you do that with a watch, asshole? It's fucking awesome. It's actually so cool. There's a working FM radio with a terrible speaker, so I will never use that feature probably, but it works and it's pretty cool anyways. There's a little this is turning into a review for this. It's really not supposed to be. Where is it? This one. That's the USB-C. That's how you charge it. So that's pretty cool. That looks pretty awesome. There's all sorts of things on this. There's this button on top. It just turns the screen fucking green. I don't even know what that's supposed to be. I didn't look fully through the manual. I don't know why there's a button that makes the screen green yet. But that's fucking cool. There's a little dial on the front with a little like radio thing. That actually does nothing as far as I know. So that's kind of lame. But there's actual like when you look at the top right here, that little dial I was going through, there's different options on there. You could kind of play like you're in the game, inputting coordinates and doing different things, and then you could spin this dial over here. There's a volume dial on the bottom. It's just overall fucking awesome, basically. I'm not here to talk about that, but I will be wearing it. Also, this was unintentional, but I feel like it kind of goes with the fit today, and I was pretty fucking proud of that. I liked it a lot, and I was like, that's the best thing. That's the best thing ever. That's awesome. Anyways, this was supposed to arrive tomorrow according to the tracker, so I was very very excited when I got home from school today and I saw this. Someone had brought it inside for me, so very very cool. And also, I actually made a list of things I want to talk about today, so it'll be a little more structured hopefully. So Pip-Boy was number one. We could check that off the list. Also, before we check it off, it came with a little stand. It looks a little unusual, but basically it just sits there like that on the stand. Oh, I turned on the microphone on my phone. It started writing down everything I was saying. Anyways, it just sits like that on the stand pretty much. You put it on your desk, and the clock function you could use as an actual alarm clock if you keep it plugged in. That's fucking cool. I already have an alarm clock. I don't use it that often anyways, so I don't know if I'll end up using it for that. Probably not right now at least, but very cool. Um I think it was worth it personally. Also, my headphones just turned off again, which I always realize when they turn off that I don't need them because I'm not listening to anything. Not anymore anyway. Anyways, happy Thursday. I'll continue the tradition of telling you the time, which you don't need to know. It's 11:19 p.m. It's the March 6th, and I guess we'll move to the next thing, which is that you guys know how I was freaking out in the first video about working in school and the state of the world and everything. Well, I haven't solved. I listen. I hate to tell you guys, I did not solve any of the world's problems. I just came to a immediate solution for myself, which is I found out there's this kind of student program at my work where I could basically do my full-time schooling like how I've been doing, during the spring and fall semesters, and only work during the winter and summer breaks, which works perfectly for me because I fucking hate working. I hate it so much. It takes every little morsel of my will to live, and it just drains it right out of my body and out of my ass. So that was fantastic news, and I honestly could not be happier about that. You know, don't want to beat a dead horse, but I don't want to be there. And I like going to school, and I like being here, and I like doing going out with people and doing stuff. So this worked out all around, except for I'm not gonna have money or steady income now. It's just gonna be summer and winter, which is tough. But I'm gonna write it out because I don't want to be there. I don't want to. So I'll write it out for now. That's my update on work. I'm gonna mark those off. I don't. That was a kind of quick one. I really don't have a lot to talk about there. Um, I kind of wanted to talk about my classes. That's kind of the big thing because I have been pretty stressed still recently outside of work. Work definitely added to it, especially because I am behind in school, and work is kind of the thing that got in the way of me ever catching up. So now it's Thursday night. I'm gonna finish something up for school after I finish recording this. I'm going to eat, finish that work up, go to bed, and I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday before I have school again, because that's my schedule right now. I have all this time. Like it is, uh, I would have to be so stupid to not be able to catch up. If not by this weekend, then by next weekend. And at that point, I'm hoping I'll be able to be free to live my life once again, to have time for a hobby or to do anything socially. And I feel like that would be frowned upon, especially by like my employer being like, "Hey, well, you were supposed to be doing school this whole time," and I'm like, "I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to become a corporate fucking slave for my whole entire life. I'm sorry that you do. It sounds like you don't have that much going on outside of your life, but I actually do, and I don't want to give that up. That's fucking sad as fuck. That is so depressing." I went back to talking about work. I don't know how I did that. Oh, also, there's a 5 minute timer. Um, I could turn it off, but I left it on because I don't want to wear this thing out. So I guess it's off right now. How fucking dope is that? That's so cool. If you're a big fat fucking nerd. Anyways, I won't. I'll stay off of that. Um, I'm gonna talk about my classes. So one of the classes I'm in right now is History of Mexico. Broad, broad, and difficult subject. There is a lot of reading in this class, and I am a big fan of it actually. Um, this is one of the classes I've kind of been behind in because we're having to read so many chapters, and with the 2 day split schedule, if we get assigned like 4 chapters on Tuesday, then we have to come back on Thursday. That means I have Wednesday night and or sorry, Tuesday night and Wednesday, working around other classes and whatever else is going on to read all of that. And this teacher wants us to take notes on all of it so she knows that we're paying attention, which I think is fantastic actually. And the subject is very near and dear to me, so I'm happy to do so. It's just something that I found myself behind in, and I'm catching up on. That's the thing I'm gonna work on tonight. I have just a few online documents to look at and take notes on. I've already skimmed through them. We looked through them in class a little bit. I was supposed to have done that by this morning, but I'm gonna finish it tonight, and then I'll be caught up officially. And also in that class, there was an extra credit opportunity to look at to go to this guest speaker that the school had. And I don't want to get into it because I don't want to dox myself, but it was amazing. I loved it. The speaker had a lot of good points. He, there were a lot of good book recommendations after that, and I'd like to at some point share all of that because I did make a list, but I don't want to talk about anything too specific yet. Even though no one's watching this, I really don't want to put out there where I'm going every so often on a day-to-day basis. I don't want that information in the world, so I won't get into it, but it was a good guest talk and I got extra credit out of it. So I think it was a good way to spend my time this week. So there's that. That's my history class. I have an online class for C++. plus plus. I have never, ever done anything with programming. Not necessarily true. I dabbled ever so slightly in high school when I was on a robotics team, but that was not my role. We kind of had roles in robotics. You could be like the person who does the CAD. You could build and design. You could do our engineering notebook and kind of document the whole thing, or do the whole presentation aspect of it with a board and get everyone to dress up and stuff and be a part of the team. And I kind of did everything but programming. So so I really had to just like dive into that one. But actually, I finished that work by like Tuesday this week for the whole week, and I was so happy, and I think I'm doing well in it. So C++ plus plus has been exciting. I think I don't know, I'm just excited for it. I really don't know a lot about the topic or a lot about any of the computer specific stuff, which is cyber defense major, not super great, but I think it's a big open world of knowledge, and I am just like at the foot of it right now. So it's exciting. It's all ahead of me right now, which is fun to think about, I think. And along with that, that's my online class. In person, I have a networking class, if that's what it is. It's to do with Cisco. If that means anything to you, you're probably a part of it. Um, it's that one I was very behind in, and I still am. That one I am very behind in would be better. Um, yeah, I found myself, this is week 3 of the spring semester of school. That class I am about 3 weeks behind in still, so I have not finished the week 1 work even. But I've made progress this week, and I went to the teachers. What do they call it? They're like their hours. I don't remember. There's a word for that. And I got help, and I found out that there's people on YouTube who uh, do the tutorial for this specific thing, which I thought was a little more specific to the teacher or something like that. So I found out if I do need help, I could always go there, which is great. But I am actually trying to learn this stuff, so I'm not trying to cheat my way through it. But I'm very optimistic about that. It's an 8-week course, and after that, I have the other 8-week course, so that takes up my whole spring semester. So it's technically 2 classes, but it's gonna be the length of one regular class, basically. They follow each other. And I'm excited about that. I think even though it's week 3 and I have the 3 weeks of work to do, I'm optimistic that I can still get it done by week 8, which is when the grade is going to be submitted. So it's a little scary, but I'm excited for it. I think it'll be all right. Anyways, I don't remember what I had after that. So let me look at my phone because I took notes this time. I'm catching up slowly. Um, right, part 2, because the first class is gonna end, then it's gonna be the other 8-week course after spring break. Um, oh, the graphic design class. So I just got it all set up again, but because I'm in that class and we use Adobe in it, I get I get Adobe privileges. So I just put Premiere Pro back onto my computer. And because I'm so behind in my classes, I'm not gonna edit this video. But hopefully by next week. Oh, my computer. Hopefully by next week or the week after, um, I might be able to start editing these or start editing TikTok, Instagram Reel type things again, which is exciting. I like doing that stuff. I just didn't like uh the rat race kind of part of it where I was like, oh, none of this shit is popular. Why does no one like this? And it just like wasn't funny the whole time. So that that's exciting is that I have Adobe again for the semester. So I want to try and take advantage of that while I do have it. And also in that class, I got to play with iPads. We went on Procreate. I am not a Mac Apple person, so uh, Samsung and Android is definitely where I'm more comfortable. And I got to play with Procreate on Wednesday, and it was exciting, and I had a really fun time with it. So that's something I went into. Um, I wrote this down. I'm not in these classes because one of them got canceled. I'll just say there's some zero credit classes that I wanted to get so I could get certificates and put certificates on my resume, and one of them is for first aid. I just think that's a good general one to get, and I thought that seems doable and wouldn't take up too much time maybe. So that's a really good one that I think is a strong general certificate. That one has a wait list on it, only class offered. And then the other one was a Microsoft Excel type thing. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was for a certificate for something to do with that. And I thought that would be good for more business kind of centered jobs, more business focused, like you're working an office job type thing. That's usually the kind of thing that they're looking for. And not necessarily that I'm looking for those kinds of jobs, but I thought it couldn't hurt, and it's zero credit, which are typically easier classes. No offense. The graphic design one I'm taking right now is also zero credit, and I would not call it much easier. Um, if you care. If you care. That's the thing. And I care about that class, so I would say it's not much easier. But I also think if you didn't care too much, you could probably get through that class pretty easily. But you might not you might not get a lot out of it, which is kind of the point of the zero credit classes in the first place. You know, you're definitely not you're obviously not taking it for the credit, so what the hell are you taking it for at the end of the day? Anyways, that's all I really had on my classes. Um Oh, so there's a big paragraph at the end, and I was like, I don't remember writing this. My microphone picked up me talking at the start, so I that was just that was just me beginning this whole conversation. This might be a really short one. Oh, really short. I've been talking for 17 minutes. This might be a shorter one compared to the others because I actually wrote a couple things out, and do I have more to talk about? I don't know. It's been raining. You want to talk about the weather? I started coughing earlier. I was like, I don't feel good. I should go home. So I took some vitamin C. You interested in talking about that? To have a conversation about vitamin C. I think that's it. Um, yeah, let me put this back. Yeah, where is it? Vault Boy out. Have a beautiful night. See you next week.